Good evening and welcome to Weekend Update. I'm your host, Eric Farmer. Today is Saturday, February 22nd, 2025. And yes, what the hell is going on this week? Winter is winding down here in the Northern Hemisphere. Crazy week of weather we've had here. Mostly pretty nice, some wind, a snowstorm, and a couple days that feel like springtime. So yeah, springtime is upon us. It's at the end of the tunnel. The spring. It's starting to really feel like winter is in the rearview mirror. But we'll see how it plays out in this last week of April, heading into March, not April, February, I should say. And yeah, it really feels like springtime almost. Yeah, I guess, the springtime is really just a week away, the first week of March. But, we get a lot of crazy weather here in March. So, yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Hopefully, this nicer weather we're having will happen. But yeah, it's been a crazy week of weather. And I don't know about much else going on in the world this week. I've been living under a rock. I haven't been paying attention much. All I know is people are talking about Elon Musk a lot. Talking about Elon and Trump. Who really runs the country? Neither one of them. They're both just a couple of fucking puppets in the show, right? Yeah, that's what's going on. Winding down winter. It's still a lot of daylight outside, man. It's awesome. Here at a little bit after 5 o'clock Mountain Time, and we still got quite a bit of sunlight. Sun's getting up earlier in the morning, and yeah, about 2 weeks from today, we'll change the clocks again. Spring forward, which is the shittiest of the time changes. So I like to prepare myself by getting up earlier and earlier. Like it's like my inner clock knows it's coming, because I usually get up between 4 and 5 o'clock. My alarm goes off at 5, but I'm usually up way before the alarm goes off. Sometimes I'll wake up at 3:30 and I can't go back to sleep, so I might as well get up. So I like to get up like that early, like 3 o'clock, 3:30. He's like, "Dad, are you insane?" Well, if you lose consciousness at 8 o'clock, it's not hard to get up at 3. I get up at 3 and I just can't sleep no more. So I get up and get a fire going, man. Saves me money. It's another thing on my mind, man. If I could lay here and sleep, or I could get up and get a fire going and save myself some money on gas and get myself ready for the time change coming up. So, yeah, it pays to get up early in the morning, man. You're ahead of the rest of the world. It's amazing how that flipped on me, man. I think somewhere around 2008, 2009 is when I went from a sleeper in the morning to a person that gets up super early. Kind of remember exactly when I started doing it. It's crazy. But yeah, the old March time change, 2 weeks away, March 9th. Well, that's a little more than 2 weeks. What do we got? Today's the 22nd. February has 28 days, so we got 6 days left, plus 9, so that's 15 days till the time change comes. Yeah, I talk a lot about it. I really hate it. You hear me talking about it 2 times out of the year, right before the 2 time changes. They keep saying, well, we're going to do away with it, but they never do. I think there's a couple states in the United States that don't do it. I know Arizona is one of the states that doesn't do the time change. I wonder if Hawaii does it. I don't know. It doesn't make sense for Hawaii to do a time change, but they probably do. I talk to my friends in like Australia and stuff, and like, yeah, they do it. So yeah, I really don't think it's for the reasons, they say, but you guys know how I am. But yeah, it's not for our good. It's for our detriment. It keeps us off balance. It keeps us, people don't realize how much changing your clocks back and forth twice a year affects you. Nobody really understands it. And I don't think I really understand it either, but it does. It makes a big difference to people. There's circadian rhythm and shit, sleep pattern. I know people hate the springtime one the worst because you lose an hour of sleep, whereas the fall, you gain an hour of sleep. And now that losing and gaining an hour of sleep, fucks with people's minds, man. That's why they keep doing it. Daylight saving time, what a fucking joke. Like, we're going to be saving daylight. It's a win-win situation for everybody. And they teach you that when you're a child. Wow, daylight savings time. That sounds great. It sounds like such a wonderful thing, right? All these things that they do to us. They make it sound so good that we're happily getting fucked over, man. Fluoride is good for your teeth. So they put it in all the water. It's one thing I don't get, man. Fluoridated water. Thank goodness. And who knows? Maybe I could have used it, man. It might have helped save my teeth a little better. I remember there was a time when I first started living with a well, and I was worried because I didn't have fluoridated water. Like, oh, what's going to happen to my teeth? I don't have fluoridated water. What an idiot I was. I believed that fluoridated water was good for your teeth, really. How the hell is drinking toxic chemical going to be good for your teeth? I think most of the people believe it. Sluggo, what's happening? Mr. Trump changed it all to American time, the one true time to rule them all. Because our country is so great. We have so much resources and power, and everything should revolve around America. Everyone should follow our time, and we're gonna change the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, and we're gonna annex Canada and make it the 51st state. Because, Canadians, they all want to be a part of America because America's so great. Well, it will be great when I'm done making it great. Him and Elon, man. That's all we're hearing about these days. Elon, man. Everybody's talking about Elon's like the real president. He's a fucking such a piece of shit fucking fake welfare queen, richest man in the world. It's all bullshit, man. He's an actor. He's a role player, just like Trump. He's playing the richest man in the world. That's his role in the show, in the shit show. He's not really the richest man in the world, but that's the role that they put him into. There's people that control Elon like a fucking puppet. You got Elon on this hand and Trump on this hand, and they're dancing like marionettes. It's so funny, man. We got the richest man in the world looking after our Department of Government Efficiency. They're firing, they're getting rid of all kinds of government agencies. They're really cleaning house down there. Oh, Trump and Elon. Saving the American people kajillions and kajillions of dollars. So it's such a fucking bunch of bullshit. And Elon's just like playing a role like a fucking like he's some kind of an OG gangster, you know. Well, I am the wealthiest motherfucker on the planet. Oh, such a joke. Such a fucking. Yeah, that's where we're at. We got, instead of just one puppet Trump, now we got two puppets in there dancing them like marionettes. It's crazy, man. Crazy, I tell you. I mean, the only reason Elon probably isn't president is because he wasn't born in the United States. Otherwise, he would probably be, because we have this law in the United States that if you weren't born in the United States, you can't be president. It's ridiculous. That's why there was all this controversy with Obama and his birth certificate. Remember that shit? Remember all that horse shit? Man, it just seems like yesterday on one hand. And on the other hand, it seems like a million years ago when we was talking about Obama's birth certificate. And even like, what's his face? Alex Jones. Obama's birth certificate. You can see here that Obama's birth certificate it was photoshopped. You can tell, you can totally, you can put it into a computer file and into a program and you can just erase all the phony shit. Yeah. I've seen that. Somehow they had Obama's birth certificate on a computer file, and they could show how it was all faked. I don't know. Where they changed words here and there. But yeah, imagine it's not hard for these assholes to fake a birth certificate. That Obama's real father is not Obama. That's what it boils down to, man. His real name is Sotero. Everybody know that. Barry Soetoro. And his father was a porno producer. That's the truth about Obama. I've done the research, man. I looked it all up on Google. I Googled it, man. That's what we call doing research these days, man. When someone says they've done the research, what they did is they typed it into Google and looked at a few of the things that came back, whatever you call it. When you Google something, you get all these things that come up that you can click on, results from your search. That's how research is done in 2025. And it's been going on for the last 20 years or at least. Google took over the world, right? Probably since around the 90s, but as the use of the computer, grew, the use of Google grew, right? Of course. And it used to be a good thing, and now it's just garbage. But yeah, you could get a lot. Amazing how much information we have available to people. Take it for granted now, a lot of us remember a time when you didn't have all the information of the world right at your fucking fingertips, literally. People could have an argument without somebody looking it up. See, you're wrong. It says right here. I Googled it. It's no fun. You can't argue no more. It's like, as soon as you start arguing, someone's got their phone out and they're like looking it up. And I was like, well, just because it says that on your phone doesn't make it so. Anyways, yeah, that's a big thing going. Everybody's talking about these days AI, right? Fucking so sick of AI. What it's become is just so annoying. But there's some of it is pretty damn funny, I must say. What's, there are some creative people out there that use AI and make it funny. They use it as a tool in the proper way that it should be used, instead of letting the AI do everything. I think if you know how to use it properly, it's a great tool. But people don't, of course, and they just use it terribly, and it's annoying. If you click on 75% of the videos you click on now are all fucking AI, and it's annoying. I get tired of listening to fucking computer generated fucking voices, man. It's just it seems like toxic to the soul, kind of listening to AI generated voices talk, Even though it could be an interesting video and all that, but having it narrated by an AI, it just fucking kind of ruins it, Back before that, they would have a lot of videos that were like you had to read, and I don't like that either. You're trying to watch a video and it's all text, so you got to read all this text. So what that text video has migrated into the AI narration rated video, right? Where you type out all the shit you want to say, and then the machine reads it, whatever voice you want it to say, you can make it male, female, American, British, Indian. I am from India, yeah. No, I don't think I've ever heard of Indian AI. that would probably be really funny. Well, yeah. AI is a big topic, man. It's really, a lot of videos I've seen that are AI generated, man. It's hard to tell the difference as far as the videos. You can tell, you can if you really look at it, but for the most people, just look at it and, man, it looks pretty real, And then, but you can tell by the voices. The voices are what gives it away. That it's AI. Some of them sound really close to real, but they make stupid mistakes here and there. That gives it totally away that it's an AI voice. But yeah, some of them I've heard are. It's almost kind of hard to tell the difference till the AI voice makes a mistake. But yeah, that's what we're talking about. The great future that we've come to live in, right? We thought we would have robots by now, but we never thought that it would be the kind of robots that we have. Mostly computer generated shit, but no, there are a lot of robots, man, that are becoming more and more prevalent in the world now. You can buy yourself a robot wife for $150,000. Imagine that, spending $150,000 on a robot. I guess that's cheaper than a real wife, though. Maybe that's one of the allures of it, man. You pay for it once and you're done. Whereas you marry a real woman and you pay for it for the rest of your fucking life. Oh, jeez. But yeah, these robots are becoming more and more realistic looking. It's still creepy as fuck. But yeah. Why do people have this drive to create sex bots, basically, right? Humans are weird, man. We have this technology. How can we use it to make a sex bot? Yeah, we made these new sex bots. They're very realistic. The Japanese are really into it. They're the ones that make the serious. And there's Japanese people that are married to robots, man. I don't know how many American people are. Apparently, it's a big thing in Japan. But yeah, that's where we're at. Oh shit! I miss the good old days, man. Whatever happened to the Jetsons? You know, their robots were, wholesome. They had the robot that was like their housekeeper. Rosie or something. Yeah, I think it was Rosie in the Jetsons, and she was a wholesome female robot. Yeah, but they do have self-driving cars now. I don't know if I'd ever want to get in one, but it's a thing. I know they got them in LA. I don't think they got them in Denver yet. Yeah, I guess they're pretty prevalent. They're getting more and more prevalent in LA. Would you get into a self-driving car? And they got delivery robots. I know they got those in Denver. They got robots that deliver shit now. Anything to cut people out of a job, right? For some reason, though, they haven't had the drone delivery. But I guess those ground robots are a type of drone. They just don't fly through the air. They're like ground drones. Well, yeah, it's fucked up, man. I really don't like this future that they've created for us. It's not the future that I had envisioned. And, where's my flying fucking car, man? 2025. I thought I'd have me a flying car by now. No, they have them. I think they got flying cars in China now. Ain't that some shit? The Chinese are laughing at us while they're flying in their flying cars. Meanwhile, we're stuck on traffic on the freeway. Yeah, speaking of traffic on the freeway, God, I drove over to Evergreen today, which is like 20 miles south of here. And you gotta cross over like I-70, which is like the main highway in Colorado that goes from east to west. And like it takes all the people from Denver up into the mountains to go skiing. Holy shit. I went through there like 10:45 or something, crossing over the highway, and I just see all the traffic going westbound up into the ski areas. And man, it was just bumper to bumper, just barely moving at 11 o'clock almost. And these people are still heading up the mountains to go skiing. It was like by the time they get there, it's going to be 1 or 2 o'clock. The time they park and find a place to park and like get up, and they'll be lucky if they could ski for 1 or 2 hours before the place closes and they got to face the traffic all the way back. It just sounds like a total fucking nightmare. They've ruined everything in this world. You want to go have a good time on the slopes, you got to spend 3 hours in fucking traffic to get there. If you're lucky, if you can find a place to park, it's a total nightmare. Then you got to wait in line to get on the lift. Then you got to fight all these crowds on the slopes. Hope you don't get killed. If you really think about it, man, going skiing is fucking ridiculous now. That's why I'm not doing it anymore. Did you know China has only one time zone? Wow. Imagine that. Those people are smarter than we are. Good day, Ken. How you going? Imagine that. I did not know that. China's huge too. It's bigger than the United States. And it only has one time zone. Imagine that shit. because they're like, nah, we don't fuck around with your time zones, man. We're gonna have one time. It's gonna be called Chinatown. It's funny. Yeah, I always talk about this time of year. It's like the sun is finally down. We still got a lot of daylight. Beautiful day we had here today. Just gorgeous. After Thursday night into Friday, we had like a pretty good little snowstorm, about 6 or 8 inches of snow. And then Friday was just really nice, after the snowstorm finished. And then Saturday today is just beautiful. And it looks like next week's going to be pretty nice weather here. So yeah, it's like starting to feel that spring fever, baby. March is coming. Fuck yeah. Looks like winter in the rear view. Man, it feels good. I'll smoke to that. They can change the clocks back and forth as much as they want. It doesn't fucking matter. It's still going to be spring. All they're going to do is rob us of an hour of sleep. And you still got 2 weeks to prepare. Just start waking up earlier. Wake up 10 minutes earlier every day, and you'll be acclimated. Davey boy, 50s this week here after -0 last week. Gotta love the climate. Yeah, for sure. Yep, we've had a much nicer. We just had a like an 8-inch snowstorm on Thursday and Friday. Now here on Saturday, it's just gorgeous. The snow is melting. Oy vey, possible. Anyways, yeah, it looks like the whole gang is in the house. It's time to watch the fucking news.
Ends fraud in the USA by watching the dollars roll off the printing press. Worn-torn shoppers keep shopping the planet to death for peace. Trump piss plan for Ukraine. Zelensky must take it in the assets. In the UK, bombs for Israel and Saudi Arabia. Smelly boots for Ukraine. Hello, debt-ridden gimps. Welcome to the fucking news. I'm just as fucked as you are. Here are the headlines tonight. Hello, I am Elon Musk. I'm in charge of government efficiency, and I have discovered huge fraud perpetrated on the American people. It goes like this. A central bank creates fiat money which has no intrinsic value. This money is essentially created out of nothing. Your government pays for the fake money, putting you into debt to obtain it, and you pay back this debt with interest. The money for interest payments comes from you, so the burden of paying the bank for the fake money is yours. As the government borrows more, the people must pay more to fund the interest on the debt. The population's wealth effectively supporting the bankers. The debt is issued by the government on your back. The bank creates the money from nothing, and you pay the debt through working in an economy they created. Oh, wait, that's dollars. That's not the fraud. That's just dollars. USA, USA, USA. Also, Donald, we will begin negotiations for peace in Ukraine. Before we get started and you agree to all of our demands as if they are just reasonable requests of a peace-loving, freedom-loving nation of reasonable people, let me just show you a souvenir from your visit to Moscow in the 80s, da? Oh, 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 oh. Oh my God, please, Putin, don't ever show this to anyone. I'll do anything you want. Oh, I couldn't bear the shame of being known for what I truly am. Oh God, what do you want? What do you want? I'll give you anything. I just don't want the world to know. Everything, Donald. We want everything. And you will give it to us because you don't want the world to know. You're not the upright, decent American you portray to the world, huh? Oh, no. Donald Trump, you are a vegetarian. A vegetarian, Donald. Look at you. Munching on the crisp leaf, the crunchy, delicate flavors. The virgin oil dressing. Donald Trump, vegetarian. Hello, I'm the BBC war correspondent Facile Dick Cheese, here at the front line of the war on Earth. There's no sign of an end to this devastating conflict that has claimed millions of lives, destroyed vast areas of the Earth, and caused the extinction of thousands of species. And yet, the suffering goes on with no sign of peace. Today, I spoke with the combatants as the carnage unfolded at a shopping mall in the biggest army of consumers on Earth, America. Well, I got my cell phone with 40 gigs of data, and I have to use it to show the world my trout-faced puss 30 times a day. Sometimes I'm forced to show people my scantily clad body or my boobs, or my views go down. Do you think the Chinese slave labor camps care about my suffering or the hardships and tragedy that I go through on Instagram? I will never stop posting. Well, maybe when I'm old and my tits are saggy. Y'all want to know how hard war this is? I have to pump gas into my enormous truck and get to the drive-through McDonald's to eat rainforest of the Amazon 3 times a day. The fumes from this here vehicle are now known to be the cause of cancer, heart disease, strokes, and dementia, plus other degenerative diseases. Whew, it's a tough war, man, but somebody's got to do it. Yes, sir. I am just on my lunch break from the bank. We are a major force in international mineral extraction. It's hard to see how you could fuck this planet up without mining, eh? Copper, aluminium, rare earth minerals. I am on the front line of habitat destruction and forever chemical production. Shareholders' dividends are up, and I'm on a big bonus if the next IPO goes ahead. Victory will be ours, and there's no price we won't pay for it. Literally, there is no price we will not pay. The British government has for many years supplied bombs and military equipment to Saudi Arabia and Israel. Millions of pounds worth of weapons, bombs, cattle prods, tasers, sniper rifles, handcuffs, tanks, aeroplanes, missiles, drones, training and high-tech communications and other 21st century military aid to help them slaughter men, women and children in Yemen and Gaza. We have stood by them, defended them, let their rulers come to the United Kingdom and had the king and queen kiss their murdering, filthy assholes. That's why our support for Ukraine is so important also. That's why we say to the international community, we are ready, Ukraine, and willing to help you defend and support peace in your nation by sending you some boots on the ground. Now, there won't be anyone in the boots, of course, because Russia doesn't want that. But British boots are the most professional, highly trained boots in the world. And don't think it's the least we could do after standing by all those murdering despots for so long and arming them. So, if that doesn't help, we've got some stiff upper lip left over from World War II and some Entente cordial in the cupboard that we haven't opened since the end of the Cold War. Yeah, God save the king.
Okay. That was the fucking news for this week. What the hell? Now, every time I share now, my screen goes crazy, man. Huh, that's weird. let's see, maybe if I leave the studio and come back. I'll be right back. Okay, that's better. We are back. Fuck yeah. Masses have been brainwashed by the synagogue of Satan. So many decades it takes time to vomit it. That's a good one, man. I like that. Synagogue of Satan. Trump has all the patriots fooled. By the time they figure it out, it will be too late. America will be over. Yeah. Yeah, it's not looking good, man. But yeah, that's what's going on, man. Everybody's, I don't know. I don't know what it was like 3 hours behind Eastern time. Yeah. This damn time messing, man. Yeah, the whole world should just be on one time, man. Wouldn't that be interesting? And you could just adjust your life around that time. I mean, it's all relative, right? Time is a construct that they created to control our lives. The clock, you got to be here by this time. I hate it so much. They say, you know, in the true reality, there is no such thing as time. Can you imagine that? A mind fucker. Well, time. If there was no time, nothing would happen, right? Time is like a dimension of, kind of like a cartoon, like frame by frame, we go through time. They've proven that there is the smallest, or they claim. I've heard that people have claimed to prove that there is the smallest unit of time, and that's how our reality is simulated by those Planck. They call them the Planck time. So every movement of our reality goes down to that Planck time, and there we are living in a simulation. I hate to break it to you, folks. None of this is real. We are living in a simulation. It's been proven. And it's rendered by the smallest amount of time, which is a Planck. Same way a computer renders anything, right? How a computer renders a video. So many frames per second, right? Yep. So I'm kind of convinced that it is more of a simulation, our reality, isn't it? Because if the farther they look at matter, and that's another thing that proves it to me, right? The farther you look into matter, the more you don't find anything. The deeper you look into matter, the more and more spread out it becomes. Like looking at an atom is almost like looking at a solar system, right? You got the nucleus and like the protons and electrons orbiting around it, and it becomes a vast, mostly empty space. And then they look at those into that atom itself, and then it breaks down into more empty space. So they've never really found anything solid in reality. That's a mind fucker, huh? So it's all bullshit, man. Fucking, it's a fascinating theory. Then what is it? It's pure fucking consciousness, right? That's what I think. Really, without consciousness, there would be no reality. That's what it boils down to. Yeah. Want to get deep? Without consciousness, there's no reality. That's what it is. Yeah. I said it again. Repeat him. But yeah, man. I've been looking at this shit a lot, man. It makes a lot of sense. So there really is no matter is nothing. That's just mind-boggling, isn't it? The farther they look into matter, the more they find nothing. Basically. So what is this shit going on? It's it's all purely mental. And that's what time is. When they talk about time, and it breaks it. It goes deep. In my mind, shit goes deep. It goes all the way into all of the physical reality that we live in, which I've spent a lot of time thinking about and learning about. And yeah, it goes way beyond physicality as far as I'm concerned. But a lot of people don't believe that, and a lot of people want to believe this. That your consciousness is created by your brain. They want you to believe that consciousness, without physical world, there would be no consciousness. And I say, no, the opposite is true. Without consciousness, there would be no physical world. Yes, Trump is the gentile Messiah appointed by Satan Yah himself. Satan Yahoo. Yeah. What about Elon, man? What's Elon got to do with all this? He seems to be like Trump's fucking right-hand man. He seems to be controlling Trump. It's all a shit show, though, you know. All just a bullshit show. And Trump and Elon are actors in the show. That's all they ever were. And all of them right now, it's the Trump and Elon show. Elon shows up at the Oval Office with his kid climbing all over him. Who's like 3-year-old toddler son, spoiled, rotten little brat, picking his nose and eating his boogers. But he can do that, right? He's Elon Musk. He can hang out with Trump and do a press conference about cleaning up the government while he's got his son there with him. He's like, yeah, he brings his son to work with him every day now, he says. He's always, his son and him are always together. It's weird, man. It's probably a clone. And like Barron Trump is a clone of Donald, but he's like got superhuman ability. That's why he's so big. He's like like Barron Trump is like a superhuman clone of Donald. That's just a wild theory of mine. You know, that's why Barron Trump, man, he never smiles, dude. It's really weird. It's like he's almost like a cyborg. And he's like huge, freaking 6'7" right now. And I think he's still growing. So that motherfucker will probably be close to 7 feet tall. It's like some kind of superhuman clone, fucking cyborg robot. Terminator. No, just kidding. He's just a normal kid. Just happens to be big. And his parents taught him to never smile in public. Isn't that weird? His mother taught him to never smile in public. Just sit there with a fucking blank look on your face, like a poker face. Yeah, kids got to have mental issues. You know, the cameras are all on him, and he's just like a robot. You know, you think he would be like smiling and waving to the people. He's just standing there as they introduce him. You know, I think it was at like the inauguration or something, or Trump was giving a speech, and he was talking about his family, and the camera was panning in on his, you know, my son Barron. He's a really big kid. He's like 6'7" tall. The cameras went on him, and he just sit there. He had like just like the slightest little hint of a smile, almost. It's kind of weird. Yeah, you think Satan Yahoo? I like that name, Satan Yahoo. That guy's fucked up, man. He's the real ruler of America, of the United States. I am the real ruler of the United States. You know, Israel is what is great about the world. I don't understand why people don't love Israel. We are just trying to protect ourselves from Iran. Iran is the true evil of the world. Yep, I think. Have a weird feeling that the war with Iran is going to happen. You know, I really hope it doesn't, but I think it's going to happen. What do y'all think about a war with Iran? Bomb, 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 Iran. Bomb, 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 Iran. Oh, bomb, Iran. That's not funny. But it's weird. Iran's been the enemy of the world for so long, of the Western world, right? No one's ever launched a full-scale war against Iran, have they? Except for Iraq. I think Iraq had a war with Iran. Bomb Iran! No, I really don't want to see that. That would suck. But I have a feeling it's bound. It's already written. It's going to happen. It's going to be a full-on fucking war with Iran. And then that could lead to World War III. Blah 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 blah. I don't know. It's all up. They want us to have that fear, anyways, right? Like, the whole world is a powder keg, ready to erupt, and all these conflicts are ready to spread out of control. The Ukraine war and the fucking war in the Middle East, Israel versus the rest of the Middle East, basically. Bomb Iran, oh, bomb Iran. You got me rocking and a rolling, rocking and a reeling, bomb Iran. That's not funny, man. Joking about things like that. Ken got the eating thing out of the way. Yeah. Humans got to eat, man. It's the most important thing. Especially breakfast, man. That's the most important meal of the day. You don't want to skip breakfast, man. I can skip any other meal. I don't even eat lunch really very much unless I'm working. But if I'm not working, I just skip lunch, eat a late breakfast, skip lunch, and eat an early dinner, or eat dinner, or drink my dinner, you know. Had rhubarb and Greek yogurt. Then had a Thai curry pie. Wow. That sounds like a hell of a meal. Rhubarb and Greek yogurt. Thai curry pie. Curry. Oh, curry's so delicious. Do people actually believe in dark matter, or do they just believe in there being something that doesn't make sense? And this is what explains. Yeah, they can't explain it, so they call it dark matter. I don't know what is dark matter. Is it antimatter? I don't know. We do have the best meat pies in the area. You Australians and your meat pies. I wish I could find some meat pies, man, but there ain't no meat pies in America, man. The closest I can get is like a chicken pot pie from this grocery store. Comes frozen. But yeah. Dark matter isn't scientific or not. It's a kludge factor to make the equations match the observations, and it's never been proven. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. See, I have no idea, man. There's so many things could be true about reality, right? And the universe and all that shit, man. It's just, we could be living in a simulation. We could not be living in a simulation. We could be living in a holographic universe, kind of like a video game type thing. It's a very fascinating idea, but probably not true. But I think I'd love to think about shit like that. But consciousness, and like we're all just one little piece of the grand consciousness. That's the one thing that permeates through all of the different stages of reality is consciousness, maybe, possibly. That's where I find that fascinating concept that reality would not exist without consciousness. That's really profound to me, I think. Without consciousness, none of this universe would exist at all. That boggles my mind, man. It's like a paradox. Does the universe exist if there's nothing there to observe it? You're traveling through another dimension. I was always a big fan of the Twilight Zone. Yeah. Don't matter. Dark matter isn't scientific or not. It's a clutch factor. Yeah. Yeah. It's like the unexplainable thing in equations. Well, that's got to be. We can't explain it. It's got to be the dark matter. We can't observe it. Yeah. So yeah, who knows, man? Who knows what's really going on in this fucking shit show that we wake up in every morning? We call reality. We know that reality on this planet right now is a fucking pain in the balls, and we're all fucking struggling. The world was created by sound, not a big bang. God spoke it into existence. See, that was before he said, "Let there be light." Was that what the first thing he said? He looked upon the darkness of reality and said, "Let there be light." And there was light. Let there be sound. There was sound. Let there be drums. There was drums. Let there be guitars. Let there be rock. Yeah, I love pondering these things. It's fucking interesting. I think I've been thinking a lot about these kind of things lately for some reason. But yeah, I think I'm leaning like more towards the whole consciousness thing. Yeah, let there be rock, man. That's as good as rock and roll gets. I would sing the whole thing, but I would get a copyright strike. Let there be rock. Man, Bon Scott was just the greatest singer that ever lived in rock and roll. He didn't have the greatest voice, but man, it was perfect for AC/DC. He was my hero, man. Him and Angus Young. You couldn't ignore Angus Young, man. Angus Young, man. Angus is still doing it. In his fucking late 60s, I think, by now. Or God. Yeah, he's got to be in his mid to late 60s. But, you know, to a rock star, that's to the power of 50. Because they live so much and they're, travel around the world and fucking bang chicks and fucking drink and do drugs. It ages you, man. I like the Bon Scott era. Yeah. It was the greatest of all time. They did some great work with Brian Johnson, but Bon Scott, he couldn't hold a candle to Bon Scott, man. Bon Scott just had so much class and style. Such an interesting character. Man. And he was one of those people that died young at the age of 27. I think he might have been older than that. He was older than the rest of AC/DC, I think. Do you remember when he did that? He was the backup singer for that band that did, "Why don't you fill me up, buttercup baby, just to let me down and mess me around." Remember that? Bon Scott was in that band. That fucking boggles the mind. I was on a mate's kick stream and he was playing all the old AC/DC stuff the other day. Night. That shit'll never die, dude. That shit will go on. That's what the mark of great music, right? Kids still listen to AC/DC today, If kids are still listening to it today, that's a sign of great fucking music. Because the music they have now is just fucking garbage. They've had hip hop shoved down their throat, and now whatever the fuck they got today. Great rock and roll, where is it? There's nothing going on today, and it's just it's really weird how what the music industry has become. If you want to find good music, you're not going to find it in the mainstream whatsoever. You might find good music out in your local bar scene. an ad that became a hit song. The music today, it's they purposely destroyed it, man. In my opinion, it's been purposely taken over by AI now, fully. People, you don't even have to sing or nothing. You just have to like just yell into a microphone, and the machine makes it sound good. It's crazy. That's how it works. It's called auto tuning and AI generated, and it's garbage, man. It's all a lie. And when they're playing live, it's all lip synced, it's all mimed. And the band ain't even really playing. They just destroyed it like everything else in the world, right? And now you don't know what's real anymore with all the AI. They'll come out with a whole new band that's just not even real. It's just totally AI generated. They got music. You can like make your own music now, totally AI generated. And it's just it sounds kind of good, man, but you can tell it's just soulless. Yeah. Everything in the whole song is AI, even the singing. Yeah, I find that interesting, you know, how they've taken us down this road to where they've taken away everybody's life skills, you know, with technology, right? Now nobody can do it. They can't even wipe their ass anymore without fucking technology, you know. It's taken away people. Yeah, it's just not a good way that we've gone down. The younger generations, they can't even find their way around without GPS because they've lost the life skill of being able to find their way around in the world. You know, I didn't think it's just something I take for granted, but some people can't do it because they've always used GPS all their lives. So now they have no ability to navigate on their own. I find that hard to believe. People that can't spell because they get spell checked everything. People that can't do math because they never had to do math because it's all done by machines. So they have none of these life skills. They can't remember a number because it's all in their phone. You know, they don't. So if they have to call somebody, they don't know. They don't have any numbers stored in their own memory. So the younger generations have lost their life skills because they've given it all over to technology, and that's not a good thing. No. So that's why they pushed all this technology on us, man, because it's just destroying the human mind, basically. America had zero enemies in the Middle East until the creation of Rothschild's Zionist Israel. They had to put an enemy there. They had to create Israel. You know? Now Israel just keeps growing, right, and taking more and more land. If you look at the map, how over the last, however long Israel has been there, like 70 years or whatever, it's grown like 50 times or whatever from what it once was. It's huge compared to what it once was, and it just keeps growing. They keep taking more and more land. It's growing like a cancer. Yes, the world has been a worse place. I don't know. I wasn't around back then. Since I've been around, man, we had a really pretty good time. When I was a kid, it was a good time in the 70s and 80s. Yeah, it's really gone down the shitter. Once we hit the 21st century, The 90s were pretty fun. In the 21st century, man, they fucking flipped the switch. This is a new century. Things are going to change, especially on September, 2001. That was the day when they fucking flipped the switch and changed the whole trajectory of history, whatever you want to call it. They changed the directory on that day. They say, well, this is from this day forward, it's going to be a whole new reality, to the 21st century. It couldn't have been more obvious. It all happened on that September day. And look at what's gone on since that September day. We went through all that shit for these last almost 25 years now. 1/4 of the way through this century. It's been a wild ride. But yeah, there's a lot of evidence. It was all planned out, man. Everything that's going on in the world, it's all been planned the fuck out. It's all so obvious. It's all been scripted. Ever since those buildings were built back in the 1960s, they were designed for that day. That's how far back these fucking people planned. It's all part of a ritual. That's why they had the two buildings, right? And they went down and then they built one. It's all symbolism. The new, one building represented, the two towers coming into one. That's why they built the one tower so fast. But yeah, if you think about it, really, the first year of the 21st century is 2001. You got a 2001. That begins the new century, right? So basically, the year 2000 is the last year of the 20th century. It makes sense, right? The 20th century, the last year was 2000. That makes 20. And so then when it goes to 2001, that's the first year of the new century. And that's when it happened. The first year of the new century. That's why they called the 1900s the 20th century, right? Now that it's the 2000s, they call it the 21st century. But it all starts on the first year. So the last century ended in 2000. This century began in 2001. That's a fact. So yeah, that was all planned. They wanted to make the 21st century a lot worse than they have. It's gotten progressively worse. But it goes way back to, like you say, when Israel was created, right? Right after World War II. They had the world all in shambles after World War II, and then they created Israel. And supposedly as a place for the poor Jewish people to take refuge from all the persecution they were facing in Europe. The Jewish people are always the victim, right? The biggest oppressors in the world are always the fucking victim, it permeates throughout, the whole reality. The people that are the most privileged in the world are the ones that cry victimhood the worst. We're the victims, therefore we deserve privilege, basically. They own everything, yet they are the victims. Yeah. Oh, it permeates throughout the whole culture that we live in. You could take it back to like Taylor Swift, right? She's always the victim. Yet she's the wealthiest fucking pop star in the world. But all she does is cry and act like she's just the world's biggest victim. That's what her music's all about, is how, oh, poor me, woe is me. You're the wealthiest fucking musician on the planet. So yeah, it's an example. And why is that person in that position? Because she was put there, or it was put there, right? People are so stupid, man. I swear to God. They just believe whatever. They can't see between, why is this person the most famous person on the planet? Because the powers that be put it there, It's what they want people to worship. They want people to worship that thing. And it's horrible, what that thing really is. I don't really want to talk about it too much, but it's definitely evil. Very, very evil. And it's controlling the minds of a lot of people. But yeah, people believe that these entities that control and rule everything and have all the power are the victims. They always play the victim, like Israel is the victim. Taylor Swift is the victim. She's worth over $2 billion. She's always victim. I hate to call Taylor Swift a she, but you gotta respect a person's identity. So Swift identifies as a female, so I got to call it a female. It's just, you're not allowed to misgender people. That's why I refer to Taylor Swift as she. I don't want to misgender it. Well, fuck yeah, man. We almost made it through the winter. I'm pretty stoked. I feel the worst of the winter is behind us. And even if they do switch the clocks, they can't change the hours of sunlight. The fucking bastards. If they could, they would. If they could take away an hour of sunlight, they'd fucking love it. But they can't do that. So you just got to adjust your own personal time. But you got to adjust your whole schedule, right? That's what sucks for most people. You got to adjust your whole schedule because now you got to be to work an hour earlier. So yeah. Even though the clock is the same, I hate it. Yes, they can take away our sun. Oh, yeah, they do. They do take away our sunshine. You're right. They can't take away our daylight. It's one thing that, they could prolong it a little bit with cloudiness, but yeah, they can't block the sun out for sure. Like Mr. Burns from The Simpsons. For all eternity, man has desire to block out the sun. That was a horrible Mr. Burns impersonation, but yes, Smithers. You know, mankind has always longed to block out the sun. Well, we had a sunny day today, man. It was nice, but it sucks when there's like half a foot of snow on the ground and the sun is shining on it. It's like, so bright. But other than that, it's lovely. Like one of those days I remember when we'd have a snowstorm and then the sky clears. And you're like my t-shirt right here. It's fucking bright. This t-shirt, man, you get fucking a pack of 6 of these t-shirts for like $15 at Walmart. So you got no excuse not to have a bright white t-shirt for any occasion. But yeah, they take away our fucking sunshine. Fucking bitches. Yeah, I drove over to Walmart today, man. I got a pretty good haul of groceries. I only spent like $150 to feed me and my dog for 3 weeks. No, that's not all my meals for 3 weeks, but basic shit for 3 weeks. It'll feed my dog for 3 weeks for sure. But no, I still got to buy some stuff to feed my dog over that 3 weeks. But I get most of the meat and stuff. Some of the fresh vegetables I put in the dog food, I got to buy every week. You can't hold a squash for fucking 3 weeks. It doesn't last. Yes, that's right. I put squash in my dog food. I found carrot, celery, chicken, and rice to be cheap for the dog. Coconut, oil too. Huh. I use carrot, rice. Yeah. I get all that shit. I get like carrots. I don't use celery. I use rice, squash, beans, red kidney beans, and green beans, and I add it to 3 pounds of turkey, ground turkey, and then I cook it in a slow cooker for 5 hours. Yeah. And that makes enough food to feed him for a week. Like 8 days, I think. So yeah, I think it seems to be thriving on it. So, and I mix it with a little bit of Iams kibble. So yeah, I enjoy it every week. I got to cook for my dog. I think it's better than feeding them canned dog food. You should know what's in this dog food for the most part. There's not all those other fucking additives they're throwing in a can of dog food. You know what I mean? So I think it's worth it, man. If you have a dog, you can cook your own dog food. But I'm not saying you'd have to. It's satisfying, man. So, yeah. But it takes some work, and it's probably a little bit more expensive. Probably not that much more expensive. If I fed him canned dog food, mix it with a little bit of kibble, But yeah, here we are talking about dog food. Fuck yeah. What else is there to talk about, man? It's important if you have a dog. Still waiting to hear from very soon. Dermatologist. Oh no, huh? He had a dermatologist meeting that day, didn't he? Good for him. You know, he might not be here today if he didn't have that. I'm sure he's still alive. He could be dead by now. I mean, he was pretty old back then. But yeah, now he's got all that money from the insurance. He could probably live. He's using life extending technology. But someday he'll die and go to hell. Some would argue this is hell that we're living in right now. So yeah, tomorrow I gotta cook dog food. Fun though. Look, it's not that hard. Chop up some ingredients, throw it in the crock pot, and let it cook for 5 hours. Then I let it sit, usually in the refrigerator overnight. Then the next morning I package it all up, put it in the freezer. It seems to work really well. I just wrap it in saran wrap and put it in the freezer. But it's only 1 week. So it's not like I'm freezing shit long term, you know what I mean? So I don't really need to put it in a freezer bag, because I'm only freezing it for a few days. And so yeah, it's a cycle, man, of feeding my dog. It's like I got to go pick up the dog food every 3 weeks, all the ingredients. And then one day I got to cook it all and freeze it and then feed it to. It's a process, but I love it. So when I go and pick up, I got to shop for myself too. Anyway, so I got myself on a 3-week shopping cycle, Instead of shopping every week, let's go once every 3 weeks, stock up on shit. It's more economical all the way around. By not having a constitution by October 40th, the rogue state is in violation of its own declaration. Yeah, wow, interesting. See, this Parzival has got all kinds of interesting information. Doesn't surprise me whatsoever. 1948, right after World War II. The timing is impeccable. So yeah, we all could see the writing on the wall, man. It's it's all part of a big plan, U.S. and Israel have always been one and the same, pretty much. Yes, it's a state that's there to, stir the pot up. And it's part of the U.S. power, the evil empire, you might call it. The allies of the evil empire. But they've always got the American people fooled that we're the good guys, right? We're just going around the world looking, making it safe for democracy. Democracy. We must make the world safe for democracy. Gosh darn it. That's all we do. Wherever there's a threat to our democratic way of life, we must destroy them all. But it's pretty scary how the world is heading in as far as military. It's all becoming machines now, man. The next war will be fought by machines, because humans will not be able to fight in that environment. It'll be machine fighting machine. Yeah. Humans will be wiped off real quick in the future. This pretty much already here. I really believe they have huge, armies of robotic looking soldiers, basically, of drones and robots and shit that would just wipe out people like nothing. If they really wanted to unleash this robotic army upon the population, I think it would be amazing. We don't stand a chance. It would create such a deadly environment that there would be no way to survive. I truly believe that. It really unleashed the true power of the robotic technology they have. It's fucking frightening. I posted the link in case anybody want to jump on and join me for a little while. But yet, I think they have such capabilities that we don't even know about or understand. A lot of it is freaking electromagnetic weaponry. It's already in place. All they have to do is flip a switch. Just fry everybody. Set your house on fire. Destroy your car. But leave the trees standing. It's the weaponry they're using against the world now, man. It's a way of waging war on the population without declaring war on the population. That's what we're seeing nowadays. All out war on the population. They're hitting us with every way, which way, economically, using their environmental tactics. It goes on and on and on and on. This. And it's working. People are dropping like flies. People are just dying of all kinds of shit. And the suicide rate just keeps fucking going up. And who can blame people, man? It's just too much anymore to try to keep going in this world. It's insane. Let's see. Every time you go to the store, the prices have gone up by a fucking noticeably in a week. You know, you notice certain products have gone up like 15, 25, up to $1 every week. You know, it just keeps going, and it's like, God damn, they're really making it hard for people to live. It's an illegitimate rogue apartheid terrorist state. Yeah, really is, man. I never thought it would come to this. But here we are. We just keep seeing prices go up and up and up. Just pricing people out of life is what's going on. Where people are just like, and they're flooding drugs on the streets. They're making sure there's plenty of drugs for people to kill themselves with. So yeah, the writing's on the wall, man. They're wiping out the population, and it's happening, and then nobody even sees it. And it's just the way things are. No, you don't understand, asshole. They want us all gone. That's insane. Why would they want to kill everybody? I don't know. Here we are. I keep hearing about more and more people just fucking committing suicide. You know, it's ridiculous. Say, God damn. But that's what they want, man. In Canada, they'll help you kill yourself. We spoke about that already. If you live in Canada and you want to kill yourself, just go to a psychiatrist and tell them, man, I got mental problems, man. And they'll say, okay, well, there's nothing we can do to help you, but we can help you kill yourself. No shit. I've mentioned this before, but it's a real thing. You know, people that have severe mental problems, they or just any kind of mental problem, they recommend end of life suicide type medical assistance and death, they call it. So yeah, it's getting to a point where I can see it coming to the United States real quick, if it's not already here. They will help you kill yourself painlessly, instantly. Just kill yourself, because that's the only answer to your problems. Yep. Crazy world we live in, huh? You know, I wish things could be more positive, man. I really do. I really don't want this kind of world, man. I really don't. You know, I don't get it. Why it has to be that way. You know, I wish I could live in a world that was a lot more positive. Like some people want to pretend everything is positive and happy all the time. You know, I wish I could live in that world, man. But I live in this world where it's fucking all this shit is going on. Sadly, because I like to have fun and enjoy. I'd like to talk about things that were so much better. You know, sadly, we have to talk about reality. That's what Weekend Update's all about. First and foremost, it's about reality. You know, reality is a crazy thing, man. I think it possibly could be subjective. You know, it's reality is to everybody is something else different, possibly. I'm pretty sure that's the case. Everybody has their own reality, you know. Not everybody's entitled to their own reality. You're not entitled to your own reality. Well, then what the fuck am I living here for? If I'm the only consciousness, without me, there would be no reality, motherfucker. I have these arguments in my own mind all the time. Like, there's two parts of me. One is lives in the material world, and the other one lives in the conscious world. It's a duality. The physical self and the mental self, right? Which is that. So that's the big argument, you know. It's like, which came first, the chicken or the egg? That's where that boils down to. Depends on how your belief system, right? That's where religion comes into that picture. What came first? You know, does your physical mind, your physical brain create your consciousness? Or does your consciousness exist and uses your physical brain as a receiver to live in this reality? That's the, you know, I think that's what's happening here. You know, the consciousness exists, and it uses your mind and your body to experience this reality. I know it's deep shit. But I think without your consciousness, your physical body would not exist. So I believe the chicken came before the egg. The consciousness came before the physical body. And the consciousness evolves in and out of the physical body. Our consciousness leaves our physical body and returns. I've experienced it, and it happens every night if you're like a lucid dreaming and shit. Your consciousness leaves your body when you're dreaming, and it comes back when you wake up. It's a fact, in my opinion. It's a fact in my reality. What do you think dreams are about? They're just your consciousness going back to its reality itself. I don't know, dreams are a trip. You know, it's like a movie in your sleep, right? It's like you're not. It's more than a movie. It's like a physical reality that you're living sometimes. And your dreams are vivid and they seem so real. So it's more than just a movie playing in your mind while you sleep. It's you, I think, contacting going back into the, what do they call that realm? Escapes. I think about it and it escapes my mind. But there's a reality, the lucid, where you go when you're lucid dreaming. There's a term for that place that you go to. It usually comes to my mind, but now the more I try to think about it, it escapes me. If I quit thinking about it, it'll come back to me. This place that you go to when you're dreaming. It's another plane of reality, basically. It's like the fourth dimension, or it's escaping this three-dimensional physical reality, basically. Here on Earth, we're in this low-dimensional physical reality. We can feel everything. It's a lot of pain and agony, suffering, but there's a lot of joy and good times too on Earth. It goes both ways. We all experience all of it, right? We experience a lot of joy and great times on Earth. We experience a lot of pain and agony and suffering. It's the duality of mankind, right? We all suffer. We all have a good time. But yeah, that place you go to when you're dreaming, it's whatever it's called, but it's like base reality. I think it's like a place you go to that's it's your true consciousness. It's true consciousness. You leave behind the physical world, you go into true consciousness. And that's when you're having your most serious dreams. You're communicating with the universe, to your true origins as a consciousness, basically. That's what it is. But you want to call it the universe, or it's consciousness. Without consciousness, there's no universe. That's what I really believe. There's no physical reality without mental consciousness to observe it. And it's a mind-boggling hypothesis or theory, the true nature of reality, right? That there is no reality without a conscious person to observe it. Because some people think the whole world is the whole universe is a brain. The whole universe is a consciousness. It has nerve, all the matter in the universe are part of a neural link, just like in your brain. And the earth is part of it. It's and it's had its own consciousness. The earth has its own consciousness. I think so. Yeah, I don't know. Dreams are a trip, though. It's about getting back to that self-conscious, the base consciousness. But, dreams are very personal, too. Or maybe the base consciousness it has all the knowledge of every person's dreams for all time. It's crazy to think about. How we're just a tiny little piece of this consciousness in this huge universe of consciousness. Like one little atom inside of a huge brain. That's what we are. We're like one atom inside of a giant fucking brain. Inside of a much bigger brain. A brain within a brain within a brain within a brain to the brain that we have. Yeah, I'm thinking about this kind of shit a lot lately. It's very interesting. What the fuck is really going on in this reality? Is it a simulation? I think it's like very strong possibility that this is a simulation because they can find nothing. There's no real matter. Real matter does not exist. So if real matter does not exist, how come I feel so much fucking pain? If a brick falls on my foot. Good point. That's all part of the simulation. We are simulated to feel pain. In the simulation, we feel pain, sadly. See, we can block out that part of the simulation by using drugs. But yeah, that's part of the simulation. But no, not every. The only thing that's not part of the simulation is your own consciousness. Everything else is a simulation. But your consciousness is real. Inhabiting the simulation. That's right. And so for some reason, your consciousness found itself in this simulation. For some reason, you chose to come into this simulation, or maybe you chose to come into this simulation as a learning experience. Some people say, chose to come to Earth and suffer a life as a human in this simulation to make your soul more experienced. It's an interesting theory of why our soul chose to come to this planet and manifest a life here. Who fucking knows? So as far as I really know, my parents fucked and here I am. It's their fault. Okay? You believe that? If your parents didn't fuck, you wouldn't be here. You think that's true? It's all their fault that I'm suffering on this planet. Because my parents were horny and had to fuck. They made me have to suffer a lifetime on this planet. But yeah, what dreams are about. I don't know, but they're interesting. I love dreams. Let's say. I think it's a way of your mind processing information, coming up, your solution. I don't know. But sometimes my mind really, it seems like it's doing a lot of work while I'm dreaming for no good reason. I'm trying to help my neighbor build a go-kart, but it's just not working. No matter how hard I try, no matter what I do, nothing seems to work out. You ever had dreams like that? I have dreams where I'm like trying to do some stupid fucking I'm trying to accomplish some stupid goal, and it just seems impossible. But for some reason, I have to keep trying to do it. I can't quit. You ever have dreams like that? God damn, it's so frustrating. Like, why am I keep dreaming about this shit? That I have to do something stupid, and it's just I have to build this stupid fucking thing, and I can't figure it out, and it just goes on and on and on and on. I have a lot of dreams like that, very frustrating dreams, and I have just, maybe it just shows the frustration that I deal with in life, right? I wish my life was a lot better than it is. I keep trying to make it better, but it doesn't work out, man. And you get frustrated, you get discouraged. I'm tired of struggling to make my life better. I don't give a fuck anymore. Fuck it. Tired of trying to make my life better. I give up. I accept my life for what it is, and I'm no longer going to try to make it better. When you realize that, a weight lifts off your fucking shoulders. Dreaming about work is the worst. Then you wake up and go to work. Yeah. Is that you're too stressed out about shit? You see, you got to just not fuck. You got to say, fuck it. I don't care, dude. I'm not going to, people stress out about shit that they should not stress out about, and they stress and it just turns out to be, you didn't need to waste all that stress. What happens is going to happen. All you can do is do your best to mitigate the worst. What happens, right? There's stressing about it ain't going to fucking help. It's just going to make you older. It's going to age you by stressing. But I can't help it. I stress. Yeah, everybody stresses. This life is fucking stressful. Can't help it. But you got to try to just learn to say, fuck it. I don't care. I'm not. There's nothing I can do. I'm not going to stress out about it. You'll be a lot healthier. I'll just deal with the shit as it comes. The more I stress out about things, the worse it's going to be. So my suggestion is say, fuck it. Fuck it all. Fuck it. No regrets. We only got so much time anyways, right? You only live once. I'm always dreaming about tomorrow's job and how I'm going to do it. Yeah, it's no good. You got to learn to get rid of that shit. It doesn't help. So you got to learn to turn your brain off, man. Think about something else besides fucking work. He's like, it's easier said than done. And, yeah, it's a good mental health thing to do. Practice. Fuck it. Who cares what happens tomorrow? It's going to take care of itself. I've done this thing so many times. Fuck it. Fuck it all. Fuck it. No regrets. Never happy endings, only dark sets. So yeah, that's my motto. You can't, man. But you can't help it, on the other hand. I'm learning more and more and more to just say, fuck it. Stressing about shit doesn't help. Just makes you fucking stress and feel and be less healthy. So I think I've learned to just say, fuck it, I don't give a shit. It's because there's so many things to stress on about in life. You know, fuck it. You got to get that attitude, man. I don't care, man. Fuck it. It's the fucking worst that could happen. I could die. Big fucking deal. I've already died. I don't know how many times I've died in this lifetime, but here I'm still here. So fuck it, Davey boy. That's my advice. You can keep stressing out about shit all you want and dreaming about it while you sleep. But no, I've been there. I understand. This life is stressful. Everybody's got fucking stress. Got to perform. Got to make that money. Got to pay them bills. I get it. Them fucking bills don't pay themselves, man. And they keep coming every fucking month. Like fucking clockwork. A whole new set of bills to pay. God damn it. You got cycles of bills you got to pay, bills you got to pay every month, bills you got to pay every half a year, bills you got to pay every year. It just never ends with the fucking bills. Cycles and cycles of fucking bills. I gotta pay this bill every month, and I gotta pay these bills twice a year, and I gotta pay this bill every once a year. It just keeps coming at you like bill, pay, pay. God, why does life gotta be like this? How was Taylor Swift being booed at the Super Bowl? Robert De Niro getting heckled. Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. No. Also, Donald Trump was getting cheered at the Super Bowl. It was all part of the script. You know? I pointed out about Miss Swift for years now, you know. Ever since I went to the grocery store, and every time I go, I keep seeing fucking Taylor Swift's face in every magazine. God damn. They're shoving this fucking person down our throat. This poor billionaire person always playing the victim, right? That's what Taylor Swift, apparently Taylor Swift's music is all about being the victim. She's always the victim, and of all these guys that, when I say she, I use that loosely. You got to call a person what they identify as. But yeah, fucking Taylor Swift, yeah. It's fucking obviously part of the show. Well, they like the people worshiping someone like Taylor Swift. They want children worshiping that person. Just the facts. Robert De Niro got. I didn't even know Robert De Niro got heckled. Robert De Niro, dude, that guy's got to be like 80 years old by now. But I know Trump was at the Super Bowl. The first president in history to go to a Super Bowl. Whoop-de-goddamn do. Man, my computer's dying. Fan is going. Sounds like my computer's got heart problems. It's going to give it up any minute now. That gives me a sign I got to get all my data transferred to a different computer before it dies, and I regret it. But I don't have much. I don't have a lot of data on this computer, but I do have a lot of my internet credentials. You might say it would be a pain in the ass if it died, but I would get it all. I would retrieve it all eventually, but it'd be easier to set up a new computer before this one dies. Computers. Who say would never have been invented? And smartphones especially. God damn, I'm so tired of the smartphone, man. It's destroyed mankind. Swear to God, I've seen the world go to hell with the smartphone, and most people don't even notice it. Most people believe the opposite is true, that the cell phone has made the world much better. I disagree. That's why I'm one of the few people in the United States that don't own one. So yeah, I still live like a fucking Sasquatch without a cell phone. But yeah, it's fascinating to me. Still living in the 90s, watching people walking around in their cell phone days. And I just don't get it, because I don't have one. I don't understand the world. I'm lost in another dimension without. Why won't you get a cell phone? It's a matter of principle to me now. It would make my life a whole lot easier, but I still refuse to do it, man. I know my whole audience would lose, my whole 7-person audience would lose all respect for me if I broke down and got a cell phone. I prided myself for all these years of not having a cell phone. Somehow I survive. Man, it's not easy. It's hard. It would be a lot easier to go get a cell phone. I'm not going to do it, man. But people don't understand it these days, man. They just can't imagine a person not having a cell phone. It boggles their fucking minds. You know, I can't associate with a person that doesn't have a cell phone. All I do is text people. I don't text. I don't even know how to fucking text. I don't fucking text at all. I don't communicate via text whatsoever. Fucking pisses me off. I want to talk to a person in real life. You know, I don't want to be typing text back and forth to them. So I don't do it. You want to talk to me, you're going to talk to me in person. You know, it's not going to be via text. Because I never grew up with text. You know, we talked to each other via phone in my time. It wasn't that long ago. I'm not that fucking old. Well, depends on your point of view, I guess. See, Davey Boy Smart used external hard drive to back up pictures. That's all that matters is pictures. It's the only data that matters. Maybe some videos. But yeah, I got all kinds of external hard drives full of videos and pictures and whatever. Someday, if there's no electricity, those hard drives will do you no good. Or maybe you can get a fucking battery pack. Yeah, there's always a way to get electricity. So yeah, there's no such thing as a world without electricity. Because, you know, if you got half a brain, you could create your own electricity. If you have like an exercise bike and like some like they did on Gilligan's Island, remember? They built like a fucking bicycle out of fucking bamboo and shit. Made electricity. Gilligan would have to pedal it. Here on Gilligan's Island. I think that's the first time I ever mentioned Gilligan's Island on my channel. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. I was a big fan when I was a kid. Here's the Gilligan's Island. But yeah, they made electricity. If they can make electricity on Gilligan's Island, we can do it here in 2025. You know, we got all kinds of bicycles and shit. All you gotta do, you got the cranks, hook it up to some kind of motor and get the fucking electricity flowing. All you gotta do is have someone pedal the bike. Or you can have like a bunch of hamsters running in wheels, right? Then all you gotta do is feed the hamsters. Get enough hamsters running in their wheels, would fucking turn that chain, fucking bam, generate enough electricity to fucking. All you gotta do is keep the just feed the hamsters. Have like a breeding area where the hamsters could breed and make more hamsters, right? It would be self-sustaining. Well, not really self-sustaining because you'd have to feed the hamsters. So you'd have to find hamster chow to keep your fucking electricity running. If it was hamster powered, I talked. Oh shit! So we talked about Ginger and Marianne before. Which one do you prefer, Marianne? Oh yeah, fuck yeah, Marianne. Marianne is a freak. You know, I guess I would do Ginger if that's all that was there. I would prefer Marianne. Yeah. Well, I wonder what Lovey looked like when she was younger. Yes, it's been so long since I watched Gilligan's Island. I can't remember any of the. I should go back and watch Gilligan's Island episodes. There's the amazing thing about the internet, huh? We could go back and watch shit from our childhood. You know, when I was a kid, we were watching Gilligan's Island reruns. But that was way before. It was before my time, but we would watch the reruns when I was a kid. On that island, you could have both. Yeah. You wouldn't have to choose. Just fucking. You have to choose for the day. But what if you got them pregnant and have babies? That would be cool. They could inhabit Gilligan's Island with more humans. Because they can make like rubber out of like coconut oil or something. I don't know. Or they could use something for rubber. So Marianne, they didn't get pregnant. But who cares if they got pregnant? You know? I don't know. I'm sure in real life they would have got pregnant eventually. You know, they sure kept themselves. I'd be okay with Miss Howell. Yes, Lovey Howell. She was pretty hot. Yeah. And, oh, Lovey. Yeah, she wasn't bad. Looking at her at my age. Yeah, on the island. Dude, I was thinking of something I was gonna say, but then I forgot. Dang it. Yeah. And Gilligan was too dumb, man. I think him and the skipper were fucking doing it. And fucking, you know, the professor was doing fucking Marianne and Ginger, right? Had to be. Yeah. The professor was fucking banging that shit. He knew how to make birth control pills too, so they wouldn't get pregnant. Because he was the professor, right? The professor was like the ultimate genius, dude. He could do anything. Yeah. The professor was hitting that shit. You know, but he kept it on the down low. Here on Gilligan's Island. Just sit right back and hear a tale of a faithful ship that started from this tropic port aboard this tiny ship. The mate was a mighty sailing man, the skipper brave and sure. 5 passengers set sail that day on a 3-hour tour. A 3-hour tour. The weather started getting rough. Tiny ship was tossed. If not for the birds of the fearless crew, the minnow would be lost. The minnow would be lost. The ship set ground on the shore of this uncharted desert isle, with Gilligan, the skipper too, the millionaire and his wife, the movie star, the professor and Marianne, here on Gilligan's Isle. Fucking nailed it. Cheers. Well, how did we get to Gilligan's Island? I don't know, but here we are. We're talking about Marianne and Ginger. What's your preference? Dude, I would make love to Marianne. I would fuck the shit out of Ginger. I would treat Ginger like a little whore that she was. Oh. HR puffin' stuff. Who's your pal when things get rough? HR puffin' stuff. Can't do a little because you can't get enough. Fuck yeah. I love that show. That's what I had when I was a kid. HR puffin' stuff. Fuck yeah. That was the shit. That's how old I am. God damn it, I'm giving away my age. It all seems like a breeze, you know. It's all gone by so fast. On the one hand, but on the other hand, it seems like an eternity. Since I used to watch HR puffin' stuff. That's the paradox of life, right? On one hand, it seems like it happened yesterday. On the other hand, it seems like an eternity ago. That's just how the mind works. How you think about things, right? You can see, God damn, my life has gone by so fucking fast. But on the other hand, it seems like it's been forever. You know, it's a paradox. Is it just me, or does anybody else feel that way? Leave it in the comments. I never say that, man. Leave it in the comments below. HR puffin' stuff. Who's your pal when things get rough? HR puffin' stuff. Can't get a little because you can't get enough. Fuck yeah. I can't believe it. People in Australia know who HR puffin' stuff is. Get the fuck out of here. He's been puffing stuff. Get it? Puffing stuff. HR puffing stuff. He's your pal when things get rough. See, they were smoking weed when they came up with that shit. They were fucking tripping on acid, more likely. Yeah, they were fucking tripping balls when they came up with HR puffing stuff. It was one of my favorite shows when I was a kid, for sure. If not my all-time favorite. It was like another one of those shows. It was before my time, but we watched the reruns. You know, I'm not trying to give away my age or nothing. Lovey Howell, love it. Fuck yeah. But HR puppet stuff, dude. I'm glad you brought that up, Ozzy. Fucking nice to see you, man. We love HR puppet stuff. You know, that was filmed right in I grew up in the areas of LA where all that kind of shit happened. Like the Sid and Marty Krofft, who made HR puppet stuff, their studios were like right up the street from where I live, and like just over there in like Burbank, North Hollywood. It was permeated with, you know, movies and television. You know, it was just the area I grew up in. You know? So I got to rub elbows with a lot of people. It was cool. Mr. Adam's Apple, nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by. HR Puffin Stuff. Yeah, that was. But why'd they call him Puffin Stuff, dude? Because they were stoners. And he was like a dragon, right? So yeah, maybe that was it, right? Because he didn't look like a dragon really, but he was supposed to be a dragon. Puffin Stuff. But, yeah, I never really thought of him as a dragon, but now I know he was playing the role of a dragon. I used to watch that shit. It's my favorite show when I was like 5 years old. God, I missed that time of my life. Gosh, what a different world it was. Fucking the 70s, man. God damn. It was magical. HR Puffin Stuff. Use your power when things get rough. Yeah, it was a different world, man. It was magical. When I think back about my childhood, it wasn't everything great about it, but it was a lot. I had a lot of good time. I also had a lot of hard times. I guess that's the way life is, man. You have your ups and downs. But I remember that it was magical. Like that song. When I was young, it seemed that life was so wonderful. A minute ago, oh, it was beautiful, magical. All the birds in the trees, oh, they'd be singing so happily. Yeah, it was like that. Yeah, that song explains it all. So what do you guys think was the greatest cartoon of all time? What was your favorite cartoon of all time? I have to think about that one. God damn. I can't think of one, man. I love a lot of cartoons. But maybe if I had to pick one, it was the fucking Roadrunner and Coyote. Yeah, Coyote, Wile E. Coyote, Johnny Quest. Yeah, that was a good one. It was like more of like a TV show cartoon. Yeah, it was good. Yeah. From the 70s, yeah, I loved it. It was like watching a fucking whole adventure story before I went to school. We used to get up in the morning and watch cartoons. They would have cartoons on in the morning. So you could sit there and eat your breakfast and watch cartoons and go to school. And then when you come home from school, they would have cartoons on after school. And you could watch your after school cartoons. Watch your afternoon TV shows while you're doing your homework or whatever. And then have dinner, watch your evening TV shows before your parents made you go to bed. Yeah, it was amazing times. Johnny Quest was a good one. What about Gigantor the robot? Kimba the White Lion. Anybody remember Kimba the White Lion? Or Speed Racer was one of my favorites. Go Speed Racer, go! Yeah, I was a big fan of that show. Of course, we were all when I was a kid. Of course, there's always the classic Looney Tunes. You know, Bugs Bunny. You know, I love that shit. Tom and Jerry. A lot of the MGM cartoons. I was always a big fan of cartoons. Even the Disney, you know, I really hate Disney now. But I still like their cartoons from back in the day. They had some good cartoons. They had a lot of good shit in Disney, but it's really gone to hell. But yeah, I grew up in that area in Southern California. It was like a lot. I'm glad I left it. Race Bannon and Jade. You know, trying to think. I liked it. What really was my favorite? To pick one cartoon show that I watched when I was a kid. Man, it's hard. It's all a blur now. If I had to think about it. Yeah. It stands out. Yeah, I spent a lot of, you know, like most kids in my generation, we spent a lot of time watching Saturday morning cartoons. Every Saturday morning. But then we went out and did other things, you know. After that, it was we'd get up early in the morning, the cartoons would be on. It was like an addiction. You know. I can't even remember anymore. It was like, you know, like Wheelie and the Chopper Bunch. I remember like Goober and the Ghost Chasers, shit like that. Like so many cartoons that they had. They were all like, you know, not very well made cartoons either. They were just, we loved them when we were kids, right? They had just so many cartoons when I was a kid. It's hard to think of which one was my favorite, man. Speed Buggy, oh, I like that one. That was a good one. It was one of my favorites. Gumby and Pokey, yeah, fuck yeah. That was one of my favorites too. It's hard to pick one. If you go way back, you had like, you know, Mr. Peabody and Sherman. I love those. Underdog was one of my favorites. Underdog. It was Sweet Polly Purebred. Underdog. Underdog. Yeah, like he would take a pill, dude, and it would make. So, you know, it was, what was that telling the children of the time? You know, take drugs. See, you know, fucking Underdog took a pill and it made him fucking invincible. So it was, what is it telling the whole generation of kids? Take pills. That was like the whole Underdog thing. He had a ring, and if he opened it up, there was a pill inside of the ring, and he would eat the pill, and he would become invincible. Underdog, underdog. he would become like Superman and shit by eating that pill. So it was teaching kids that to do drugs, right? That's what I say. Gumby and Pokey. I love that shit. The Flintstones. Oh my God. Don't get me going on the Flintstones. Yeah, that was one of my staples growing up. Yeah. We watched that shit every day. That's all we had. You know, back in them days, you only had so much to choose from. You didn't have the whole internet to choose from. You had to watch what was on the television. So the only thing we had was the Flintstones. That was it. It was just the Flintstones and nothing else. So, yeah, that was way before the Jetsons. Before the Jetsons, all we had was the Flintstones. But you know, it took a long. We had to deal with the Flintstones for a long time. But it was cool though, man. You know, because the Flintstones, they held it down pretty well. I'll give it to the Flintstones. They threw out a lot of entertainment, man. They were very, very entertaining. I would say the Flintstones were. Fuck yeah. So Tough Puff, welcome. And she says that the Jetsons were a big fan. Who do you think should play George Jetson if it was a real human? Meet George Jetson. His boy Elroy. Their dog Jane, his wife. Daughter, what was his daughter's name? I don't know, but I banged her. No, what was his daughter? Daughter, Judy? Yeah, Judy was his daughter. His boy, Elroy. Daughter, Judy. Jane, his wife. Fuck yeah. Jane, his wife. Do you know what was the name of his robot housewife, housekeeper? That's what you get for extra credit. Rosie. Yes. You are correct. So yeah, you're a big Jetsons fan. I was more of a Flintstone person, but yeah. Back in the day, that's all we had, right? It was the Flintstones and the Jetsons. We didn't have a lot to choose from. We had Scooby-Doo, you know, but the Jetsons. Lost in Space. That was like, yeah, back in the late 60s, whatever. It's before I could remember, but yeah. I've seen the reruns of Lost in Space. That's a whole nother raw level that we could talk about. Like Lost in Space goes into sci-fi movies. Because I am a big fan of sci-fi too. You know, like I love the old Japanese sci-fi, like Godzilla and like Godzilla movies, and that's what I loved when I was a kid. Those Japanese monster movies, shit like that. And that's all we had when I was a kid. King Kong. Yeah, King Kong was cool. It was in the jungle. I remember I used to play with my little toys and had like a place in the backyard. Had my own little fantasy world. Like it was like my own jungle. So it was like so real to me. Like one of those movies that I saw. I created my own version of it. Yeah. It was so real. I thought it was real in my own mind. Because I had dreams about it too. Like we were talking about dreams earlier. I had dreams about going to like some kind of world like that. It was like where like there was like dinosaurs and like King Kongs, shit like that, like giant creatures. I had those dreams when I was a very young child because it was so shoved down our throats, right? Yeah, remember all the stuff that we used to, it was like Jaws. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that was like later on. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff that they gave us when we were young kids. It made people like made memories, right? Collected memories. Yes. Good night, Mr. Adam's apple. It's getting close to. Remember Simon? Simon. The things I draw come true. Ah, interesting. But yeah, that's like we're all part of the consciousness and creating this reality. It's a possibility. With this reality would not even exist without consciousness. It's a mind-boggling thought. So yeah, I think reality depends on consciousness, not the other way around. Whatever you want to call consciousness, you might call it. You could also call it the Holy Spirit. All that sort of. There's a lot of ways you could speak about the consciousness. But we all know what I'm talking about when I say the consciousness. To be conscious. You can't explain it. It just consciousness is what consciousness is, right? It's just is the experiencing of reality. Maybe that's a good way to describe it. The experiencing of reality is consciousness. Yeah. That's fair. That's a fair way to put it, I'd say. If I was to, describe consciousness, the experiencing of reality is consciousness. Fuck yeah. Whatever reality may be. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. It's been a trip. Well, thank everybody for hanging out, man. Love you guys. Getting pretty long-winded. Fuck yeah. We'll see what happens. These things I draw. Yeah, that's what it is. It's like that's what people are. A lot of that we create our own reality. Is very Why would I create this reality though? Well, fuck yeah. Good night, Tough Puff, everybody. Thanks everybody for hanging out. We're gonna wrap it up, man. And I love you guys, everybody, for being here. We'll see you guys next time.